Hi, I'm Jonathan Smith with Prestige Yacht Sales. You can call or text me at 860-514-3763 or email me at jsmith@prestigeyaichtsales.net. Today we're looking at a 1995 Catalina C320. You can see it behind me. So a lot of these boats, I really don't list some of these older boats anymore. But every now and then you run across one that is so nice and so well maintained that I'm happy to list it. I think it's going to sell quickly because it's a good one. It's a keeper. It's obviously owned by people who know what they're doing and are conscientious and take really good care of their stuff. It has a Westerbeek diesel with 921 hours, which is actually fairly low hours for a boat of this age. Other things you can see is the mainsail. It's a classic hoist mainsail, but it has the Dutchman system, which means when you drop it, the sail folds itself and it'll just sit there until you're ready to put the sail cover on, typically when you get back into the dock. And speaking of the dock, if you need a dock slip, if you want to get sailing right away, we can make a deal with the owner about transferring the slip over to you. All right, I'll think of more of the things they've done as we go through the boat here. So let's go take a closer look. Start by looking at the starboard side. I don't see any scratches or evidence of collisions. You can see a couple extra fenders out there. Walking towards the bow. There's 3 anchors with this boat. The main anchor is a CQR, which if you know is, most people consider it kind of the best cruising anchor you can have. And there's a windlass in there that just lifts the anchor and it's operational. And there's also a Danforth style anchor in the locker and then a mushroom style anchor somewhere else on board. I did walk the decks and there's no cracks or crazing, and I didn't feel any soft spots underneath my feet. It all looks really good. Okay, so let's look at the port side, top sides. You can see they're really clean. No issues. This is the side. There'd be marks if you banged into the dock or whatever, but I don't see any of that. Catalina 320. These are popular boats, and given their age, there's usually a lot of them for sale, but given their age, there's a wide range of conditions. And this one is especially nice, which is why I'm here talking to you. So it does have a Dodger. It does not have a bimini. They prefer sailing without a bimini, but there's a real nice awning. It takes about 4 minutes to put up. So you can put the awning up if you want sun protection when you're at anchor or at the dock. And that's stored down below. We'll look at that in a little bit. No radar on this boat. You got a Windex up there and you do have a wind instrument. Let's go aboard. All right, the Catalina 320s have great cockpits, spacious. Room to sail at least 6, if not more. I mean, you got 3 on each bench, 1 or 2 in the back here on the captain's chair. And this captain's seat does flip open and gives you access to a swim platform and a ladder in the back. These stern rail seats are really great places to sit. You sit up high, have great visibility. You do have an outboard motor mount if you have a dinghy. Our propane lockers in there. Looking at the helm. While these are older electronics, everything works, including the ST4000 wheel pilot, the wind instrument, the speed, the depth, the compass looks good. I checked the throttle and shifting controls. They all work really smooth. And by the way, the Westerbeek engine has a control panel with actual gauges, not just alarms. And we can see there's only 921 hours on that Westerbeek. That's the manual bilge pump, brand new cover on that. They tend to get burnt up by the sun, but the owners, anything they can replace that needs replacing, they've done it. There is a Garmin GPS, GPS Map 498. It's smaller, but there is room here to put a bigger one if you wanted to put one of these little more modern GPS chart plotters on. We have Lumar winches with covers, which keeps them nice. They are self-tailing winches and they're 44s. on each side, and then we have our cabin top winches as well with covers and nice sheet bags on both sides. Something else they've added. Companionway has the wooden boards that came with the boat, but they also have a set of semi-clear plexiglass boards that they put in when they're staying on the boat. Brings more light in the boat, and it has a way of adding extra ventilation while also closing it off if they need to. Dodge is looking pretty good, except the isinglass is getting a little cloudy. You're probably going to roll up that center panel, which is pretty nice, lets the air through and gives you better visibility. But yeah, I'd say that forward panel is a little cloudy. It's fairly easy to replace that if that's something you wanted to do. Let's take a look in the locker. I actually haven't even looked in the locker yet. Well, here's our companionway boards. They sit in a nice shelf. Some other things in here, fire extinguisher. All right, let's take a look below. Looks really nice. I'll tell you about those cushions in a minute, but let's look at the galley. It has new refrigeration they just installed, 2025 or 2024. So you have basically a double wide refrigerator. They're using the boat right now, so you can see all the stuff in it. But new Dometic refrigeration. Let's see how that works. Lots of space. Propane stove with an oven, 2-burner, stainless sink. There's dry storage here. And a lot of storage up here as well. You can see, I'll see if I can get one of these open for you. Show you how that works. You do have glasses storage up here and some additional storage here. So it's really a pretty terrific galley for a 32-foot boat. Now let's look at the cushions. So these cushions almost look like new. I don't know if you can tell how good it is. It's like a crushed velour material. But the reason they're so nice is when they bought the boat, the first thing they did was they put these fitted slip covers over it in dark blue. And so the original material's basically been untouched for as long as they've owned the boat. And it shows. It looks like new. So this is a boat you will not be needing to replace cushions on. It looks terrific. So I asked them to remove their slip covers so we could show off how nice those cushions are. But I'm sure as soon as I'm done here, they're going to put those covers back on as they continue to use the boat. Look at this table. Perfect, right? It looks really good. And I believe that does convert to a berth. They have the cushions. They're not on board. They have them at their house. They don't use that. But it will come with a cushion to fill in. And look at our sole. Teak and Holly sole. Looks really good. No stains. And up forward, we got a V berth in there. They also have the fill piece that goes right in the middle there, and that fills in the whole berth. That's also at home. And you notice we've got in the bulkhead these big openings, and you can see the boards I just set right there. And they sit in there for privacy, or you open it up and it makes the boat feel a lot bigger and lets more air blow through. This boat does not have air conditioning. But you know what, if you're on a dock or facing into the prevailing breeze with there's plenty of hatches that open and it keeps it quite comfortable. I looked at all the wood here and I don't see any stains, from leaks. The bulkhead looks really good. As you can see, there's opening ports here. A little bit of crazing on these Lumar windows. You can actually replace that if it bothers you. It's not a structural item. I've seen some of these start to get this crazing after only 1 or 2 years. But they are replaceable if that bothers you. But, honestly, it doesn't really matter. They let the light in. And it's not really gonna break or anything. Here we are up forward. These are the original bed cushions. And you have a little storage underneath here as well. 2 opening lockers and a couple drawers. Some outlets, lights. Opening hatch. Here we are looking aft through the salon. See if I can give you a better view. There we go. Oh yeah. It's just really nice. This boat does not look its age at all. It looks like a much newer boat. Oh, by the way, there's absolutely no odors in here at all. You know how some boats, have an old boat or a head smell? This boat has none of that. And one of the reasons is they only flush the toilet with fresh water. And so if you keep doing that, you'll keep the odors down. It's the salt water mixing in the hose with the waste that causes bad odors. And so they know that. So very clean. There are accordion shades for all the windows. They're up here for more light, but they do come down to give you privacy or knock the sunlight out if you need it. Let's look in the aft cabin. They have a pillow topper in here, which is kind of nice. You can see custom fitted. And this is a big bed. And here we are outboard on the starboard side. Here's the awning that goes on in 4 or 5 minutes. And in a nice canvas cover are those plexiglass companionway boards. So that's what they use when they're staying on board. You got some outlets, you got more storage here, push the little button, hanging locker. It's actually pretty deep, and some drawers that open as well. So let's take a look at our Westerbeek diesel. You can see that you lift the stairs up, they're hinged, and you hook it up, and then you remove this cover. And here's our red Westerbeek. The owner does the oil and filter changes himself every year. Replaces the impeller every other year. Everything looks pretty good. I was checking the engine mounts. I think they look good. It is a freshwater cooled engine. Here's our coolant reservoir. The hoses look decent. The belts look okay. As we take one more look at this beautiful, well-maintained boat, I'm gonna try to mention some of the recent upgrades, including the refrigeration in 2025. There's a new water heater. Some of these things are things you expect to be working, but they're all relatively new, these things I'm about to mention. The fuel tank has been replaced, which is something you need to kind of be a little concerned about with older boats. What happens is water settles in the bottom, and it usually rusts through the bottom, and you get a little drip, but that won't be an issue with this one. So the fuel tank's been replaced. The refrigeration, I know the topping lift. There's new stereo speakers outside, which are hard to get, but they found the exact ones and they put those in. These new Bose speakers inside here. So basically everything is working like it should, and some of the big important stuff has been replaced. Once again, I'm Jonathan Smith with Prestige Yacht Sales. You can call or text me at 860-514-3763 or email me at jsmith@prestigeyaichtsales.net. By the way, I know you're probably wondering what the asking price is. I never put it on the videos in case they change, but will be a link to the listing with all the listing details below in the description. So go ahead and click on that. It'll bring you to our Prestige Yacht Sales website. You'll see the price. This boat is priced really well, and they're eager to sell right now. They're getting out of boating, and this is a good one. I know there's others on the market, but I'll vouch for this one. So it's worth taking a look. And if you need a dock, you could slip right into this one, even just for the balance of the 2025 summer season, and go do some terrific cruising. Block Island is only a few hours sail from here. I'd say all the time, you can leave work early on a Friday and be at Block Island by sunset from where we are here in Nowang, Connecticut. All right, give me a call, text me, email me, and let me know if you're interested. It's a good one. I hope it doesn't last long. It may not. So reach out. Thanks so much.